the headquarters of the truth. My brother, my sister, here we don't criticize, but if we must, it will be on one condition only. Yes, and that condition is to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Now the very first story we are looking at today is taken from Ghana Web. And it says, Kwesi Pratt fumes over NPP's misguided diplomatic petition to cocaine plane saga. And I read, now the managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr. has strongly criticized the growing trend of political parties resorting to diplomatic missions to settle domestic disputes. Now, speaking on Metro TV on April 9, 2025, Kwesi Pratt Jr. insisted that such practices highlight weaknesses in Ghana's democratic system and subjects the nation to international ridicule. Now, the drama is taking a bizarre proportion. Now, for me, the worst thing that has happened so far is the involvement of diplomatic missions in state issues. I have to be honest here. It is not only the NPP that takes that tangent. The NDC also behaves like that too. We have a small disagreement. We don't see eye to eye, and then we run to diplomatic missions. What's wrong with the political leaders that we have in this country? Why? They forget that on December 7, we lined up to choose a government. We didn't vote for diplomatic missions. So, this running to diplomatic missions as if they have oversight responsibility over our government is strange. I don't understand it. He lamented. Mr. Kwesi Pratt Jr. hardly gets it wrong. And this is another tick to what he's saying. Is it correct? My brother, now I am so ashamed of any country in Africa that runs back to the so-called colonial master or his equivalent, my brother, my sister, running helter-skelter for solutions that can be had domestically. You all lined up, chased away the so-called colonial master because you wanted to be independent. Why are you all of a sudden so dependent on a man that you chased away? Is it like going back to sing the song, "Me that day, somebody worry me"? Or what is the problem with you? We have seen all the heinous crimes meted out to us in the days of slavery. Fast forward, in fact, even in the days of colonialism and imperialism. And then neocolonialism. My brother, my sister, we saw all the atrocities. It's a shame that our so-called independent countries can still be running back to all these people as if to tell them that, hey, you know what? We are so weak. We cannot handle our own domestic issues. We need to fall on you because you are wiser and smarter, so you will teach us the way. Why not just bring them back to recolonize you? And in this case, it's so shocking. They are not running to any other nation but Lebanon. When you read the story further, they are running to the Lebanese diplomatic mission, asking them to come out and help to solve these issues bordering cocaine and money laundering. It's a shame. When we voted for wise people who told us they were capable of running this nation as an independent nation. Today, We are so weak, we cannot even save as a nation. We are always in debt, running helter-skelter after the same people we chased away. So, we are told to abide by some damnable policies that they have before we get anything from them. My brother, my sister, what we believe in does not matter to them anymore. After all, he who feeds you controls you. No wonder right now, aids and grants are tied to who you sleep with and who you don't sleep with, what you say and what you don't say. My brother, my sister, it is a shame as a nation that fought for our independence. That is why I have a problem when people say, oh, we were granted independence on the 6th of March 1957. Who granted us this independence? No, we fought for our independence in toil and blood, and is captured in our national anthem and pledge. They imprisoned us. They beat us. They shot and killed us on the streets of Accra like rats. We fought for our independence. We did not get it on a silver platter. Therefore, it behoves us to defend our nation by blood and by toil. NDC runs to a certain country, diplomatic mission, and is asking for domestic problems to be solved. Then what is the importance of your independence? What is the importance of your independence? Can you tell me? When America has domestic problems, America does not run to Ghana to ask for solutions. When China, my brother, my sister, has a diplomatic problem domestically, he doesn't run to any diplomatic mission that is outside China. Or is it a Mickey Mouse freedom? A Mickey Mouse independence? And Mickey Mouse leaders? My brother, let's take our country serious. We have been joking with this beautiful country for far too long. Let us take our country serious, my brethren. Or else, very soon, things we will see in this country, we will be shocked that we would have a minister of employment as Chinese, minister of chieftaincy as an Indian, minister of education Japanese, minister of artillery and weaponry American. We got to be careful, my brother. The only time I heard America running to ask us in Ghana to help with a certain diplomatic mission, my brother, my sister, was during the Vietnam War. And even with that, it had its own underpinnings and innuendos. Nkrumah was plotted against to be taken down, and it happened. Kwesi Pratt Jr., I doff my heart for you. I don't know what is wrong with Ghana. Some of our leaders behave as if they have no brains, let alone common sense. If you have no brain, how can you have common sense? Lord God have mercy, it's sad. If you have no brain, tell me how you can have common sense. My brother, my sister, how can you go out there and be talking about cocaine? Your country engaged in some cocaine trafficking and money laundering, knowing the implications internationally. Already, they are waiting for us to swallow us. They are waiting to come quickly to us and tell us, you see, we gave you the independence that you fought for, and see, you can't handle your own country. My brother, my sister, I've been told not to say rats and cockroaches and mice and so on radio. I was going to say something like that. But my brother, my sister, these so-called dishonorables who have no respect for our country, please be careful. I leave it here. Now the next thing I want to look at is quite interesting, and then I will take you to Bawku. But before we go to Bawku, there's this thing interesting that I want to read. It's coming from Ghana Web. And it says, no teacher has the right to cane somebody's child. And this is Yvonne Nelson speaking. We all know Yvonne Nelson, right? She wrote the book, I Am Not Yvonne Nelson, right? Okay, Ghanaian actress. Those of you who don't know her. Ghanaian actress Yvonne Nelson, who also runs a school, has voiced her opposition to the use of physical punishment in school, what we call corporal punishment. She believes that only parents should have the authority to discipline their children, not teachers or school staff. Now, during an interview with Joy News, Yvonne discussed how things are done at a school, Yvonne Nelson International School. She stated that at her school, teachers are forbidden from hitting students. Instead, they rely on methods such as timeouts and counseling to address disciplinary issues. If a problem persists, the school contacts parents to involve them in finding solutions. What do the laws of the GES say about corporal punishment in the schools? My brother, the last time I checked, no teacher has the right to pick up a cane and lash or whip any student, except that they go to the headmaster's office or head teacher's office, write out a statement, and this statement shall spell out what the student or pupil did wrong. Number two, this statement would also spell out what punishment the teacher thinks should be meted out to this pupil or the student. Number three, only the headmaster has the right to endorse this punishment, not even the assistant head teacher or headmaster. So the headmaster looks at it. Okay, the student went around insulting other students in the class. Teacher says he wants to give him 20 lashes. Head teacher says, or headmaster says, no, 20 lashes will be too much. Looking at the body of the student, this is a very tiny student. By the time you even reach 5, this student would have broken a limb. So instead of giving him 20 lashes out of anger, please give him 1 lash or 2 lashes. Again, what is the sense in making this teacher walk all the way to the headmaster's office, sit down and write a whole statement? When you are angry and you are unleashing punishment, it is normally swift and in anger. But when you take time to walk all the way to the headmaster's office, it kills off a bit of your anger. When you sit down to write, it makes you also think. It calms you down. By the time you would walk to the headmaster's office, write out all the statements and present to the headmaster, sit back and wait for the headmaster to endorse whatever punishment you are giving, or otherwise, you would have calmed down. And at least 2 people would have agreed that this punishment that you're giving to this child or student is okay or not. Put the GES thing aside. Ask me, how many schools abide by this? The school that I went to, my brother, my sister, a teacher can hold you up and lash the hell out of you. Give you umpteen number of lashes, and nobody holds them responsible. Sometimes they will whip you and your back will draw maps of countries that are non-existing. I remember there was a time a teacher lifted a cane to whip somebody and he missed. It hit somebody's eye. It plucked it out and put it on the floor as if it was a horror movie. Why should we be using canes on our children both at home and even in the schools. Is it an animal kingdom? Some of them will tell you, spare the rod and spoil the child. And they think that the rod means a stick. Why don't you go for iron rod then? That explains it better. Spare the rod and spoil the child. It's a figurative speech, which means if you let the child loose without some level of discipline, my brother, the child would go wayward. It's the same Bible that says, train up a child the way he should go, so when he grows, he shall never depart from it. Right? I am against all kinds of lashing in the schools. Nobody cares my children in any school. It doesn't matter whether it's a military school, police school, demon school. Nobody touches my children. I agree. If you want time out, if you want to do some counseling, if you want them to face the blackboard, if you even want them to even go out and do some sweeping, but to lash, I will not permit that. I don't even beat my children with canes in the house. My brother, one look is better than 1,000 canes. Sometimes go to bed early. Sometimes you are going to forfeit this kind of snack because of what you did. Or go stand out in the sun is enough. I do agree we have some stubborn ones. But what made them stubborn sometimes is your own actions. I leave it here. To Yvonne Nelson, I want to say this is a great one. This is a great one. We must not encourage the use of canes as if we were on the animal farm on our children. Now the final story that I'm going to look at before we go to Jamaica, my brother, my sister. It's a sad story, but we will look at it. I'm reading this from my Joy Online, and it says, Bawku crisis. Support Otumfuo's peace process. Mahama Ayaraga appeals to residents. And let me just read the first paragraph. Now, the Bawku Central MP, Mahama Ayaraga, has appealed to residents of Bawku and its environs to exercise restraint and allow the peace process led by Otumfuo Osei Tutu to reach its logical conclusion. All right, my brother. Otumfuo, may God bless him. May God continue to give him wisdom. When I sit back and look at the number of times that this great man had to come out of his comfort zone in order to arbitrate some peace process and some other such thing, sometimes I ask myself, if he wasn't here, which would have been the option? This Bawku crisis is an age-old crisis. Let's go to Dagbon. We had our own kind of crisis over there. We all remember the Kokumba, the Gomba War, the so-called Guinea Fowl War. Nobody wants to remember that. It took Otumfuo and some other people, with Otumfuo being at the helm of affairs. We remember Otumfuo speaking tree to the people and telling them not to disgrace him. My brother, my sister, Otumfuo is younger than a number of those old chiefs in the area. But it's not about age. It's about the throne that he sits on. I don't doubt it that Otumfuo will be able to deal with the Bawku crisis to the maximum. I trust Otumfuo to do this. But my brother, can I ask one question? Why is it that chiefs find it difficult to sit together and agree to disagree? Must we always pick arms shoot each other and kill each other. Sadly, a lot of our chiefs are old men. They will sit in their old age and watch young men and women tear down each other and push each other into early graves. When, under normal circumstances, old men and women should be given way for younger people to take over. But when crises come, it's the other way around. Young men and women die whilst old men live. Please, let's think about that. Let's give peace a chance. The Bawku crisis is a dicey one. Historically, these are brothers. And I've said it time and again. They speak the same language. The difference is in the dialects. My brother, my sister, but there cannot be peace. Even in Dagbon, when the Abudu and Dani war came about, it was a war between brothers. It took Otunfo to solve it. This time around, I believe that it will be repeated. Please let peace come to Bawku. We love Bawku. And Mahama Ayarga had his house almost burnt down to ashes. I'm glad he's not talking about his house. He's just talking about the fact that he's bent on seeing peace return to this beautiful area. Please, let's consider these emotions and let peace descend on our people. I didn't plan to play this song today, but I'm going to play it. It's called Put Down the Arms, and it's coming from the Salaga Soldier album. I made this song intentionally for the Bawku crisis. It is called Put Down the Arms. My name Blakk Rasta is been the voice of the Patriot. I love you.